Are there aliens or not? There is a group who are searching for the truth. They say that the aliens have already visited Earth and there is proof. We have a question. Did aliens murder people on Earth? We will discuss the events based on real-life experience by some people. Many of us have these doubts. The universe is massive. It's literally infinite space. But saying humans alone are living in the entire universe is really puzzling. This is the strong point from one group that we should be not alone in the universe. How many universes have the humankind identified? Leave the other universes. In our universe, the humankind had identified up to nearly 93,000 light-years. Can the humankind travel to planets which are 93,000 light-years away? This is impossible with our technology now. Many experts say that the humankind can never reach distances of this scale for many generations. We are in the Milky Way galaxy. How many galaxies are there within this 93 light-years? Nearly 2 trillion galaxies may be there. Just like our solar system, there may be 2 trillion solar system could exist. So saying only humankind lives in the universe is unacceptable. There are two facts and one must be true. The humankind is the only species living in the universe, or other species are living in the universe. We haven't discovered them yet. So the other species are called aliens. There is a mystery in the world which is not solved till now. Who killed 9 people? After 61 years the case has been reopened. The investigation cannot produce a result. They have submitted a report in Russia. An incident which happened in Russia. When did this incident happen? On 1959, in January, a 23-year-old radio engineering student Igor Dyatlov assembles of the group of students, totally 10 members. These 10 members were experienced grade 2 hikers. On their return, they were to be given the grade 3 certification. At that time this grade 3 was the highest certification in Russia. They were students from Ural Polytechnical Institute, which is now called as Ural University. Which mountain were they climbing? The mountain is called Gora Taurton. This mountain is a cold region. So January the 10th students announced to the university that they are going to hike the mountain. The group leader was Dyatlov. Dyatlov informs his faculty that they will return on February and will give the information to the university. The group traveled in 2 trains. Then they used the truck to reach their location for climbing the mountain. On 28 Jan one of the members, Yuri Yudin, turned back due to knee and joint pain. The remaining 9 members continued their hike. We have already told you that the 9 members turned up dead. You may have a question now. Who told their story to the world? Using their video footage and diary notes. The investigation happened using these notes. This is how history was written. The day when they started their climb was 1 February. Because of snowstorm and dressed visibility, they lost direction and they seemed to have deviated from their path and traveled west. The intended location was not seen by the group. Instead, they were in the Kalatsakal, meaning Dead Mountain. The group realized their mistake and set up camp on the slope of the mountain. The group knew it was the Dead Mountain. After they have set up camp, there was no information from them. People in the university started to recognize that the group was missing. On February 20th, a rescue squad was dispatched. The other students from the university and people from various organizations started their search for the lost group. On February 26th, the rescue team found the tent. The mystery starts with the discovery of the tent. The location where the missing group's tent is hard to reach. Why the missing group choose this hard path? The tent was set up in the slope of the Dead Mountain. The tent was covered by snow to 10 cm. They found a flashpoint which was 10 cm below the snow. The rescue team found out that the tent was not opened from the front, but the tent was tiered up from the side and back sides. This was shocking to the rescue team. The tent was tiered up from inside. Why did the missing group tear up the tent from inside? When the rescue team continued their search for the missing group, from the tent location early 1 to 1.5 kilometers, 2 bodies were recovered. There were 7 to 8 footprints discovered by the rescue team. The footprints belonged to the missing group. So we are sure no other person was there in the location. The two bodies were found wearing only their underwears. Their clothes were missing. One body had one shoe in his leg and the other body didn't wear any shoes. The rescue team got scared by seeing the bodies. The location had a temperature of -23 degrees Celsius. If these two dead people with their underwears and no shoes have died, then something must have happened in the location. What happened to the remaining group members? From 600 meters, from the first location, 3 bodies of the students were found. These 3 students were returning to camp when they died. The bodies were facing the direction of the camp. They were trying to return to their camp. Near the second location, there was a tree. Some branches from the trees were broken. One of the 3 students tried to climb the tree and the branches have broken. This can be clearly seen by the rescue team. Did the 3 dead students had any injuries? Did the first found 2 students had any injuries? This is the biggest mystery for the rescue team. The injuries were minor, sustained by the dead. One dead body had gray matter in the body. There were minor injuries in the legs of the students. One student suffered a crack to his skull. One student hand had a cut in his hand. How was the student's hand been cut? It could have happened when he tried to climb the tree. The second location where the 3 dead students were found. It would seem that the students have exchanged clothes because they are wearing the wrong clothes. So the rescue team has just recovered 5 bodies. When the body core temperature goes below 35 degrees Celsius in humans, they will suffer from hypothermia. 3 stages of hypothermia. The mild hypothermia, the person could suffer mental confusion and shivering. In moderate hypothermia, the person can suffer from increased mental confusion and the shivering stops. Severe hypothermia will lead to that person having increased risk of heart stopping, which leads to paradoxical undressing. This is how the students could have removed their dresses. So due to hypothermia and mental confusion, these 5 students could have lost their lives. This was the result of the first investigation. So 5 students have died due to hypothermia with minimal injuries. Did the rescue team discover the remaining 4 bodies immediately? The remaining students' bodies were discovered after 2 months. The 4 students' bodies recovered after 2 months. One student's tongue was cut off. Their heads were cracked. Their eyes were missing. The students had exposure to radioactive elements. 2 of the students had chest fractures. Can any human fracture the other human using this force? The force required to cause the damage will be equivalent to the force of a car crashing into the chest. This is the result of the post-mortem. There are no possibilities of a car in that region. Humans cannot produce this force to fracture the chest. Who cut off the female student's tongue? Why did our bodies missing their eyes? Were the students fighting among themselves due to hypothermia? There are major differences in the death causes between the first 5 students and the second 4 students. The second group wore dresses. There were signs that the legs were tied up. The second group was safe. But suddenly they were murdered. The mystery is the human parts which are missing from the bodies. Who could have committed this crime? They start an investigation. From 1959 to 1980s. There are 75 scenarios which would have happened in this murder case. One scenario was due to snowstorm. They could have suffered from hypothermia and died. If there was a snowstorm, the tents would be completely covered, the tents. So there is no chance of a snowstorm. The second group of students which were found, one among the bodies, half of the body was covered in snow. The body was buried. Who buried the body? So if there was a snowstorm, all bodies should be beneath the snow. How is it that the 3 students' bodies were not buried in snow? So there is no chance for a snowstorm. The region is called the Death Mountain. This region is occupied by the Mansi people. The nature of the Mansi is peaceful people who will not commit these crimes. Even if the Mansi people killed the students, the force generated to fracture the chests is unexplainable. Is there a chance these students were killed by Yeti? There is no sign of footprints of the mysterious beast. Mystery after mystery with many facts and truth in this case. On 2019, they reinvestigated the case. The results are not concluded. It still remains a mystery to this day. If they close the case, they will have 75 scenarios and questions raised to the authorities. What is the connection between the aliens and the murders? The mountain where the students were climbing. Near this mountain, there was another mountain and another group was climbing the other mountain. They said that they saw orange-brown light circles around the students' murdered area. Would these light circles be UFOs? Were they flying saucers used by the aliens? Would that be a weapon? We still have only questions to ask. Why are the aliens murdering people? What truth was found in this case?